Understanding inplace equals true in pandas. In the pandas library many times there is an option to change the object inplace, such as with the following statement. I am curious what is being returned, as well as how the object is handled when inplace equals true is passed versus when inplace equals false. Are all operations modifying self when inplace equals true? And when inplace equals false, is a new object created immediately, such as new_df equals self, and then new_df is returned. If you are trying to close a question where someone should use inplace equals true and hasn't, consider replace method not working on pandas data frame instead.
When inplace equals true is passed, the data is renamed inplace. It returns nothing, so you'd use. When inplace equals false is passed, this is the default value, so isn't necessary, performs the operation and returns a copy of the object, so you'd use.
In pandas, is inplace equals true considered harmful, or not? TLDR, yes it is. Inplace, contrary to what the name implies, often does not prevent copies from being created, and, almost, never offers any performance benefits. Inplace does not work with method chaining. Inplace can lead to setting with copy warning if used on a data frame column, and may prevent the operation from going though, leading to hard to debug errors in code. The pain points above are common pitfalls for beginners, so removing this option will simplify the API. I don't advise setting this parameter as it serves little purpose. See this GitHub issue which proposes the inplace argument be deprecated API-wide. It is a common misconception that using inplace equals true will lead to more efficient or optimized code. In reality, there are absolutely no performance benefits to using inplace equals true. Both the inplace and out-of-place versions create a copy of the data anyway, with the inplace version automatically assigning the copy back. Inplace equals true is a common pitfall for beginners. For example, it can trigger the setting with copy warning. Calling a function on a data frame column with inplace equals true may or may not work. This is especially true when chained indexing is involved. As if the problems described above aren't enough, inplace equals true also hinders method chaining. Contrast the working of as opposed to. The former lends itself to better code organization and readability. Another supporting claim is that the API for set_access was recently changed such that inplace default value was switched from true to false. See GH27600. Great job, devs!
The way I use it is or conclusion.
The inplace parameter in pandas and in general means 1. Pandas creates a copy of the original data. 2. Does some computation on it. 3. Assigns the results to the original data. 4. Deletes the copy. as you can read in the rest of my answers further below, we still can have good reason to use this parameter, i.e. in-place operations, but we should avoid it if we can, as it generate more issues, as 1. Your code will be harder to debug. Actually, setting with copy warning stands for warning you to this possible problem. 2. Conflict with method chaining. So there is even case when we should use it yet? Definitely yes. If we use pandas or any tool for handling huge dataset, we can easily face the situation where some big data can consume our entire memory. To avoid this unwanted effect, we can use some techniques like method chaining. Which make our code more compact, though harder to interpret and debug too, and consumes less memory as the chain methods works with the other methods' return values, thus resulting in only one copy of the input data. We can see clearly that we will have 2x original data memory consumption after this operations. Or we can use in-place parameter, though harder to interpret and debug too. Our memory consumption will be 2x original data, but our memory consumption after this operation remains 1x original data, which if somebody who never worked with huge datasets exactly knows can be a big benefit. Final conclusion. Avoid using in-place parameter unless you don't work with huge data, and be aware of its possible issues in case of still using of it.
If you want the same audio, please answer the description.